All right, so we're diving into something that I think is super relevant for anyone trying to kind of, make their mark on Instagram. It's not just about, like the filters and the hashtags and all that. It's really about mindset.
Yeah.
We are cracking open Diego Mueller's workshop guide for this deep dive.
Cool.
And let me tell you, this guy, he does not mess around.
No, he doesn't.
He gets right to the heart of it.
Yeah.
All those hesitations we feel when we're about to hit post.
Totally. And it's so relatable too. Like this guide, it's like he's in our heads. You know what I mean? Like he's addressing that inner critic that's like, are you sure you're interesting enough to post that?
Oh my gosh, yes.
We've all been there.
Constantly. And he calls it out right away.
Yeah.
He has this idea of tricking your brain. I think I'm even using his words there because it really stood out to me.
Yeah.
What's he getting at with that?
So he's talking about those beliefs that we have, those limiting beliefs that we kind of pick up along the way without even realizing it. And they kind of like hold us back.
Oh, totally. It's like we think, oh, someone's going to think this or that.
Exactly.
And then we just
stop ourselves.
You're stop ourselves.
Before we even start.
Yes.
And his point is that we actually have a choice.
Okay.
We can either let those beliefs dictate our actions, or we can choose a different dialogue, a more empowering one.
So it's like recognizing those thoughts as they come up.
Yes.
And being like, wait a minute, and swapping them out with something more positive.
Exactly.
Like instead of what if people hate this, it's what if this resonates with just one person who needs to hear it?
Yes. Love that.
Yeah.
It's a small shift, but it makes a big difference.
Huge. Yeah.
And that's where I think this idea of the winner's mentality comes in.
Okay, winner's mentality. Break that down for me. What does that even mean in the Instagram world?
So a winner, in this sense, is someone who gets that it takes time
Okay.
to build a presence. You don't just become an overnight sensation.
Right.
It's about resilience and understanding that there will be setbacks.
It's a journey.
Exactly. It's a journey, not a destination.
And it's about kind of reframing,
Yes.
like the word failure.
Absolutely.
Like it's not failure, it's just part of the process.
100%.
You reminded me of that quote. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Love it.
You
So good.
got to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah, and you're going to stumble. You're going to maybe fall down a few times.
Totally.
But it's about getting back up.
Yeah.
And Mueller, he says, winners are the ones who, even after 99 failures, they're still going.
Wow.
Because they believe in what they're doing.
That's powerful.
It is.
It is. And you know what? I think for so many of us,
Yeah.
we're so afraid of judgment.
Right.
We're so afraid of putting ourselves out there and it not being perfect.
Totally.
And I love how he addresses this. He's like,
Yeah.
ask yourself, why does this matter so much to me?
Yeah. What are you making it mean?
What am I making it mean?
Because often it's
Right.
not even our own voice. It's like we've internalized
These messages from other people.
It's like, whose voice is that even?
Exactly.
Is that my 7th grade English teacher?
It could be.
Right. It's so easy to just absorb those messages.
Totally. And we don't even realize we're doing it half the time.
It's wild how much those external opinions can just
Yeah,
worm their way into our subconscious.
totally.
But Miller's saying we have a choice.
Yes, we have a choice.
We can choose to not give those opinions power.
We get to decide
Right.
which voices we're going to listen to.
And which ones we're going to just hit the mute button on.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And he even suggests visualizing
Okay.
those negative thoughts fading away
I love that.
as you replace them with these new empowering beliefs.
Oh, it's like literally hitting delete on those old files in your brain.
Yes.
And uploading some new software.
Love that.
If only we could just upgrade our mental operating system so easily.
Right.
But it starts with that awareness.
It does. And that choice to be
Mm.
I'm not going to buy into that old story anymore.
Yeah, and you know what I love about this is it ties into how we show up online.
Tell me more about that.
When we believe in ourselves.
Okay.
And our message, it comes across.
It's like people can feel it.
They can feel it.
So it's not just about the content itself.
Right.
It's the energy behind it.
The vibe.
The vibe, yes.
Even if you don't have a huge following yet, act as if you do.
That's interesting.
Right. And I know some people might hear that and think, oh, so I have to be fake.
Yeah.
But it's not about being fake. It's about stepping into that future version of yourself.
I love that.
The one with the thriving community and the engaged audience.
So it's like giving yourself permission
Yes.
to embody that future self now.
Exactly.
Before it's fully materialized into the physical world.
He talks about visualizing it.
Okay.
Visualize having that large audience
Wow.
already. And then ask yourself, how would you show up?
That's so powerful.
How would you create content? How would you interact with people?
Because it changes your energy.
Yes.
If you're showing up as if you've already made it, quote unquote.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. You're not waiting for the confidence to come. You're embodying it now.
Yes.
And you're attracting that audience
So good.
that you want.
I love that. And he calls it acting as if.
He does.
It's not about being inauthentic. It's about embodying those qualities that you want to cultivate
Exactly.
within yourself.
It's like you're shifting your mindset first.
Right.
And then the external results will follow.
It reminds me of that saying, fake it till you make it.
Yes.
But it's not really about being fake. It's about, like, stepping into that.
Exactly.
Like that best version of yourself.
It's about embodying it.
And trusting that the more you show up in that way,
Yes.
the more it will become natural.
Exactly.
Like building a muscle.
100%.
The more you exercise that confidence muscle,
Yes.
the stronger it gets.
I love that analogy. And you know what I love is that Miller doesn't just stop at mindset.
Right.
He also dives into really practical strategies
He does.
for actually building that thriving Instagram presence.
Totally.
And one of the things that he talks about is this idea of the mentality of contribution.
Yes.
I love that phrase.
Yeah.
Tell me more about what he means by that.
So instead of always focusing on selling,
Okay.
focus on serving.
Love that.
He says people can smell a sales pitch a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
Don't we all hate those spammy emails?
Totally.
Right? Like,
Buy my thing.
exactly. It's all about them.
All right.
And it doesn't feel good, does it?
Not at all.
No. And especially on a platform like Instagram where it's about connection.
It's about sharing.
Yeah.
It's about being real and authentic.
Yes.
And, showing those glimpses into your life.
Exactly.
And so much of that is about being relatable.
Absolutely.
Showing the real you.
Yeah.
Even if it's not always perfect and polished and...
Oh, I love that you said that because he talks about embracing vulnerability.
Yes. Tell me more.
He says, now he's not saying like bare your soul to the entire internet,
Right.
but like let your guard down a little bit.
Yeah.
Show your personality, but don't be afraid to be yourself.
Be human.
Yes.
Because for so long, the message was like, curate this perfect feed.
Yes.
Everything has to be like picture perfect.
filtered and airbrushed and
But I feel like people are craving more realness now.
100%.
Like we're tired of the facade.
I agree. People want to see the real people
Yeah.
behind the accounts.
Like you said, with the quirks, with the
Yeah.
imperfections.
Because that's what makes us human.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
makes us relatable.
It is. It's those shared experiences.
Yeah.
The good, the bad,
And everything in between.
the messy, the beautiful.
Yes.
And Miller's point is that vulnerability is contagious
Oh, that's interesting. How so?
in the best way possible when
Yeah.
you're willing to be open and authentic.
Yeah.
It gives other people permission to do the same.
It creates a space
Right.
for genuine connection.
Yes. And I think that's something that we're all craving.
More than ever these days.
Right.
And speaking of connection,
Yeah.
he has this great point about
True.
treating your Instagram audience
Yes.
like a room full of real people,
Love this one.
not just like numbers on a screen.
It's so easy to forget that because it's all just, data and analytics and...
Yeah, you get caught up in the numbers.
But there are real humans
Yeah.
behind those likes and comments.
With feelings and
Yes.
thoughts and,
Exactly.
their own lives.
He says, imagine walking into a room
Right?
full of people who are interested in what you have to say.
Go.
How would you approach them?
Oh, that's good.
What kind of energy would you bring?
It changes how you show up, if
Totally.
you think about it that way.
It's about engaging,
Yeah.
not broadcasting.
Yes.
It's a conversation,
yes.
not a monologue.
Instead of like talking at people,
Yeah.
you're talking with them.
Yes.
So good.
And he says, treat your followers like you would
That's what I
treat
do.
your friends, your colleagues,
Yeah.
your ideal clients even.
Respect authenticity.
Yes.
Genuine desire to connect.
Exactly.
So ask questions, respond to comments,
Yes.
spark conversations.
Don't just chase those likes.
Right.
Build relationships.
And speaking of engaging with your audience,
Yes.
he also has some really great points about
Tell me.
dealing with negative comments.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Because I feel like that's something that everyone
Everyone.
struggles with at some point.
It's hard
It is, and it's so easy to
to take it personal.
take it personally, yes.
Especially when you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, you're putting your heart and soul into your work.
Yeah, you're being vulnerable.
Right.
And then someone comes along
And
and
criticizes it?
it can feel like those negative voices are just amplified online.
Totally.
But he has this great reminder.
What's that?
Those comments often say more about the person leaving them
Oh, I love
than
that.
they do about you.
It's a reflection of them.
Exactly.
Not you.
Not you.
I love that.
So have compassion for them.
Okay.
And for yourself,
Uh-huh.
because you're both just navigating this online world.
And it's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
But equally important,
Okay.
set boundaries.
Yeah.
You don't have to tolerate abuse or negativity.
That's your online space.
It
You
is.
get to decide what kind of energy you allow in.
You're the gatekeeper.
Right.
So delete mean comments.
Yeah.
Block trolls. To
Absolutely.
curate a space that feels safe and supportive for you.
It's like you wouldn't invite someone into your home
Great.
if they were going to be rude and disrespectful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why
Well,
would you do it online?
It's the same thing.
It is.
And I love how he reminds us,
Yeah.
you don't have to please everyone.
You can't.
You can't.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. And it's about finding your tribe. The people who get you, who support you.
Yes.
And those are the people who will become your biggest fans and advocates.
Absolutely. And they'll be there for the long haul.
That's so important.
It is.
And it's interesting how all of this comes back to mindset.
It does, doesn't it?
We can get so caught up
In the algorithms.
in the algorithms, in the,
The latest features.
the latest features,
New things.
the new whatever.
Yeah.
But really it's about cultivating
Yeah, inner strength.
that inner strength and self-belief
Absolutely, and confidence.
and confidence.
And he says confidence is a skill.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's not something that you're just born with.
Oh,
It's something that you can learn and develop
I love that.
like any other skill.
So it's not like some people are just born confident
Right.
and the rest of us are out of luck.
Exactly. You can develop it through practice
I love that.
and repetition.
So you're saying even the most successful people
Yeah.
experience self-doubt.
Oh, absolutely they do. The difference is they've learned to manage those thoughts
Oh,
in a way that doesn't stop them from taking action.
they don't let those thoughts
Paralyze them.
paralyze them. Yes.
Yep.
So good. And how do we do that? How do we manage those thoughts so that
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
it is? It is.
Well, he offers some tips, and one of them is replacing negative self-talk
Okay.
with positive affirmations.
Oh, love that.
So instead of saying to yourself, I'm not good enough,
Right.
try saying, I am capable and I have something valuable to share.
It sounds so simple, but I
It does.
bet it's really powerful.
It is. And it might feel a little awkward at first,
Totally.
but the more you do it,
Glad
the
for
more
me.
natural it becomes.
So training your brain
Exactly.
to focus on the positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to challenge those old negative beliefs.
So good.
And another tip he has is surround yourself
We get
with supportive people.
because negativity is contagious,
It is.
but so is positivity,
Absolutely.
right?
So find your people.
Find your people.
The ones who lift you up,
Yes.
who inspire you.
Who champion you, who
Uh,
want to see you win.
100%.
Because we need those people,
We do.
both in our online lives and our offline lives.
Absolutely.
And you know what's so interesting is that even though he's talking about this in the context of Instagram,
Yeah.
I feel like this applies
To
to
everything.
life in general.
It does. It's about building a positive mindset
It is.
and surrounding yourself with the right people.
yes.
And believing in yourself.
So important.
It is.
And you know what else he talks about? Is being mindful of the accounts that you follow.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
Because I think this is huge.
It is.
We're talking about surrounding ourselves with positive people in our offline lives.
Yeah.
But we also have to do that online.
Yes.
Because if we're constantly scrolling through our feeds
And comparing ourselves.
and feeling inadequate
Right.
or like we're not good enough,
Or not doing enough.
not doing enough.
It's time to hit that unfollow button.
Yes, clean up that feed.
Spring cleaning for your social media. Love it. Right.
Get rid of the clutter.
Out with the negativity, in with the inspiration.
Yes.
Right. Because we want to create an online space
Yes.
that fuels our creativity and our well-being.
Absolutely not one that drains it.
So important.
It is.
It's like spring cleaning for your social media feed.
Yeah.
Out with the negativity.
Out with the negativity.
In with the inspiration.
Yeah.
And speaking of fueling creativity,
Mm-hmm.
Miller also talks about the importance of celebrating your wins,
Yes. Love this.
no matter how small they might seem.
Absolutely. Because it's so easy to get caught up in like
The hustle.
the hustle, the grind, like chasing the next milestone.
Yes.
That we forget to just like,
Pause.
pause and celebrate.
Acknowledge how far we've come.
Exactly.
Because we're always striving for that next, that next follower.
Right.
That next collaboration.
the next big thing.
Right.
And we forget to appreciate the little things.
Yes, the little victories along the way.
It's like we need to give ourselves a high five every now and then.
100%. Like, you did it.
You did it.
You showed up.
You hit publish.
You put yourself out there.
Exactly.
That's huge.
It is.
So celebrate that.
I love that.
And you know what else?
What's that?
He says, it's okay to ask for help
Oh, yes.
when you need it.
We don't have to do this alone.
No, we don't.
Like, Instagram can feel like a very solitary thing sometimes.
It can, especially when you're like,
Behind the screen.
yeah, behind the screen, crafting your captions and
Yes.
trying to make your photos look good.
Yes.
But reach out to your people.
Yes.
Join online communities.
Find your tribe.
Exactly. There are people out there who get it.
Yes.
Who want to support you.
Who've been there.
Yes.
Who've gone through the same things.
Who understand the struggles.
Exactly.
And the joys.
And the joys, yes.
Of building an online presence.
It's so powerful to have that support system.
It is because we're all in this together.
Yes.
Right? Like we're all navigating this online world.
And it can feel very isolating.
It can.
But when you remember that there are other people out there
Yes.
going through the same things, celebrating each other's wins,
Yes.
offering support when it's needed.
It makes a world of difference.
It really does. And it reminds us that we're not alone.
Exactly. We're all just human.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure it out one post at a time.
One post at a time.
Right. And you know what I love about all of this?
What's that?
Is that it's not just about, becoming Insta-famous.
Right. It's not about the vanity metrics.
It's not about the numbers.
It's not the connection.
It's about the connection.
And the impact.
It's about sharing your gifts
Yes.
with the world.
Your unique gifts.
It's about using this platform to make a difference
Absolutely.
in whatever way that looks like for you.
One post at a time.
So good. It's like you're curating your own little corner of the internet
Yes. Exactly.
to be a positive and uplifting space.
Absolutely. And that's something you have control over.
Right.
You get to choose.
So empowering.
It is.
So we've talked about mindset. We've talked about connection.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other key takeaways?
Well, he also talks about the importance of, not just asking for help, but also celebrating those wins.
Yes. Tell me more about that.
Because it's so easy to just get caught up in the hustle and forget to
acknowledge our accomplishments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like even the small ones.
Yeah. Like give yourself a high five.
Right.
You did something, you put yourself out there.
Exactly. And that's worth celebrating.
It is.
Because those little celebrations, those little moments of like, yeah, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
They build momentum.
They do.
They keep you going.
It's like giving yourself that little boost of energy.
Yes, exactly.
To keep
To
creating.
get going and to not give up.
It's so important. And you know what? As we kind of wrap up our deep dive here into Diego Mueller's work, I'm curious if there's like one final thought that you would want to leave our listeners with.
Oh, that's a good one. I think it would be this.
Okay. Just start.
Just start.
Yeah. Like, don't overthink it.
Don't let that inner critic hold you back.
Don't wait for the perfect moment
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't exist.
So true.
Just take that first step.
Put yourself out there.
Yes, because the world needs to hear what you have to say.
Oh, I love that.
You have a unique voice.
We all do.
We all do, and it deserves to be heard.
So good.
So yeah, just start.
Just start. I love it.
Simple, but powerful.
It is so powerful.
Right?
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It has been such a pleasure chatting with you.
Likewise.
And to our listeners out there.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you found this helpful,
Yes.
inspiring, and motivating.
Keep creating.
Keep creating.
Keep shining.
And we'll see you next time.